Hello everyone, this is Real Estate Zoe out here in Houston, Texas, 832-768-8717. Making another video. This is part two of my negotiating prices. Stop negotiating like a dummy. So this video, I just want to continue where I left off. I make these videos for those who are real estate entrepreneurs. If you are an investor looking to buy a house, rehab it or rent it, if you are maybe a wholesaler and you're looking how do you grow your wholesale business, how do you get more sellers, and how do you get through the process of from A to Z, finding the seller all the way to closing out a title. And now I just want to pick up on this video. We're talking about price. When you're negotiating a price with a seller, how do you get the seller to sell you the house at a price that makes sense? Obviously, if you're an investor, looking to buy the house and rehab it, you got your repair costs that you have to keep in mind. That $5,000 or $10,000 that you're going back and forth with the seller could be the difference between if you're going to use granite countertops or you won't be able to. If you're a wholesaler, the difference of that $5,000 could be your entire profit. So these are things you have to take a look at, when you're negotiating. And of course, if you're wholesaling, you don't want to get a house under contract that's not at an attractive price. It's only going to sit there. You're not going to sell it. You're going to become frustrated. So pricing is important, needless to say. So here are some things that I want to throw out there that has helped me with negotiating pricing. Obviously, there's a lot of different ways. Everyone's kind of using the same thing nowadays. But here's a couple of things I just want to put on in your toolbox that you can use to negotiate. So, okay, first thing. So in first video, we just talked about how to get to the conversation of price. So in this video, what I want to talk about here is, okay, you have someone, you're talking with them on the phone, a seller, and they come to the point. You ask them, what are you looking for? What's the lowest you'll take in your home? And they give you a price, $80,000. Okay, great. The next question I always ask, no matter if the price is too high, the price is too low, or whatever, or even if they want to just give me the house, okay? The next question I always ask is, how did you reach that number? Okay? Now, when you ask that question, you either need to take a mental note or take a pen and pad and notate what is their rationale behind the pricing that they're offering to you. Those are the variables or the factors that you will use to negotiate a lower price. You don't necessarily need to negotiate the lower price all at one time, as in this first conversation, but over the course of working with these sellers, these are your factors that you're using to negotiate. Okay? So, for example, if they were to say, hey, the house next door sold for $75,000, my house is bigger than the house next door, that's what you're going to use once you do your research and find out the house next door is actually bigger than their house. So that's something you can bring back to the table. And in those conversations, you're going to ask them more questions such as, say, hey, seller, I know that you were offering your house to me at $75,000 because the house next door sold for $75,000 and your house is bigger than theirs. Well, actually, I ran the comps, or I pulled the research, and you also want to show them what you're looking at. And it looks like actually their house is bigger than yours. So with this being the case, I know you wasn't aware of this, what would you be willing to accept for your lowest offer, knowing that your house is smaller than the house next door that sold for $75,000? Okay, so that's one way to do it. And you can do that for any factor that they were to throw out to you, from the house next door sold, to with the repairs. Oh, this house doesn't need a lot of repairs. This house is easy. You can rent someone. You could probably rent this the next day, Alonzo. That's the reason why I want $80,000 for it, because it won't take much for repairs. Okay, sir. When you say it won't take much for repairs, are you saying it will take less than $5,000 for repairs? Yes, Alonzo. It will take less than $5,000 for repairs. So that's what you really want the seller to tell you, is that it will take you less than X amount to repair the home. Great. Now, when you bring your contractor by the home, or you go take a look at it, then that's when you want to get a detailed of how much it really will take to rehab the home. Then when you show them the comparison, hey, seller, I know you said this would take $5,000 or more to repair, but actually your roof is leaking, you have termite damage, your countertops are very, very outdated, the bathroom is not appealing to the modern consumer, You know, these repairs alone, we're looking at about $15,000 to $17,000 of repairs. I know the price that you quoted me on was based on $5,000. It's really more so like $15,000. Be it that you were $10,000 off on repairs, could you bring your price down $10,000? So those are just some ways, and no matter what they give you, like I said, you want to know their factors, their rationale, and those are what you're going to use to bring the price down. So in part 3, I'll talk a little bit more about the different areas or timing in which you can try to get the price down, because you don't need to do all of it on the first conversation. Real Estate Zoe, Houston, Texas. Send me a text message, give me a call, 832-768-8717. Talk to you soon.